What's going on, guys? It's Ashleigh Jade and I'm here today to give you a quick story time. I want to tell my story of how I got into photography. Some of you may know that I did photography to start with and now I'm a director. So I thought I'd just quickly tell my brief little story and hopefully it will inspire you guys to do what you want to do. When I was 16 for GCSE, I did media studies. I really loved media. I had to design a magazine, a cover, and I had to do an interview. I remember having to use Photoshop to design everything and I was so into it. I had to make up an interview. So in my interview, I'd interviewed Kano because Kano was my favorite MC at the time. I remember putting it together and being like, wow, like this is actually really good. Like it actually looks like a real magazine. I was so proud of myself. So I decided to go to college and do a BTEC in media. Now at college, the way our timetable was set up, you would have photography once a week for 6 weeks and then it would change into something else. Those 6 weeks, they did something to my soul and I just fell in love with photography. Literally did not want them 6 weeks to end. Every time, I think it was a Tuesday afternoon after lunch, photography would be our lesson and I was there every lesson, would never miss it. My teacher, Brian, till this day, Brian does not understand. Like he will never understand how much I love this guy. Like he is such a big impact in my journey. And literally, if it wasn't for him, I actually don't know where I would be right now because he really made me believe in myself and believe that I could actually become a photographer and actually do what I wanted to do. So big up Brian always. He already knows, like, I got you, Brian, I got you. But yeah, so I was doing photography once a week, but it just felt like I needed more. I wanted to do more of it. So I would sit and speak to Brian and be like, Brian, like, you know, like, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna do this? You know, like, am I gonna be able to get like a mortgage and stuff like from this? Like, can I really be a photographer and really make money and stuff? And he used to sit and tell me, you know what, if you really want to do it, put your heart and soul in it and it will pay off. And you know, you never know what can happen, but you literally just have to work hard at it. So I said, all right, cool. He said, yeah, go out, shoot whatever you can, just stay shooting at all times. And so I literally took that and ran with it to the point where I would miss classes in college and my college tried to kick me out. Obviously now I'm a bit older, I can look back at it and be like, I should have gone to my lessons. But at the time, I was just like, but I'm out here doing photography, which is what I want to do. So why are you trying to kick me out for pursuing what you guys are telling me to do, basically? You know, my teachers used to always say, yeah, make sure you're getting experience. But when I was getting experience, they were trying to kick me out for it. I understand, but at the same time, it was a bit disheartening. I feel like, you know, the way that the system is like kind of built up with schools, it's like they want you to achieve stuff, but they still try to keep you in a structure. Like they really wanted us all to go to university. That was like a big thing. So they would try to, you know, persuade us to all go to university. I never went to university. Brian actually mentioned to me, like, I don't think you should go. So I said, all right, 100%. He was like, yeah. I said, cool, I'm gonna trust you. And I didn't go to uni. A lot of people that were in my class, I don't really hear of anything of them, and I don't know, maybe some of them did go on to do stuff in media. I just haven't come across them. So if you are thinking about going to university to study media or photography, film, I would say, me personally, I don't think it's a must, especially where you have stuff like YouTube now and, you know, there's so much film and photography opportunities out there. I would just say jump straight in, which is what the route that I took, and it's been paying off ever since. There's just the value that you get in being on set. I feel like you learn faster, you're thrown into situations that you have to get yourself out of quicker, which gives you a different set of skills that you can't really get within a classroom. At the time I was working, when I was 16, 17, I did have a job. I worked in retail. That used to kind of fund like stuff like buying my first camera and memory cards and getting my laptop and stuff. But I quit my job when I was 18 and decided to go full-time into photography. It was a struggle. It was very, very hard. I was lucky because I still lived at home. It was a very big struggle, you know, like having to eat cereal like breakfast, lunch and dinner, them kind of struggles. My first opportunity really to do like real photography was behind the scenes on a Rich 32 video shoot. A guy that worked at my job at Primark and then later on at Topman, he was a photographer, so I asked to assist him. So I would always say assist someone that is in the position that you wish to be in, because he opened a gate to me and welcomed me basically into the world of grime, let's say. He was around all the artists and the video shoots because he was doing behind the scene pictures. So that's the route that I took, and I got in, started taking behind the scenes pictures, and then eventually when you start to put out your pictures, people start posting them and then your name will be attached to it, and then you start to build up a following like that. So that's how I got involved in photography in the grime UK rap scene. From there it was like from one video shoot to the next video shoot, and then I got approached by Scorcher to join Staple House, which was his production company. So I started doing photography for Scorcher. I shot his Concrete Jungle album cover, which was actually shot in my college studio, which was fun. Had a lot of girls in awe that day, like that was jokes. From there it just carried on. It was like a snowball effect, you know, like you go to one video shoot, you shoot one person, someone else is inquiring about you, and it just continued like that, and I just continued to do photography. I then went on to do a internship with a photographer called John Wright, and he really opened my eyes up to a whole different world of photography. He did a lot of high fashion, a lot of TV, you know, we did photo shoots for the Inbetweeners, we did photo shoots for Ringo Starr. He taught me about building a business in photography and branding yourself, because he was a brand and he had a really strong team behind him, making sure that everything operated right. He had someone doing the production assistance, you know, he had someone that was doing like marketing as well for him and contacting people and constantly updating his show reel and putting it out. His portfolio was always up to date. He had someone that would assist him, like his right-hand man, that also was like very techie, knew a lot of stuff about, you know, setting up the camera and making sure everything was set. He had retouchers on deck. Like, he taught me about delegating, and it really opened my eyes up to the fact that, you know, yes, I am Ashleigh Jade, but there can be people underneath Ashleigh Jade in a way where it's like a structure to make things work a bit more. It doesn't have to be me doing everything. And that really changed the way I looked at everything from then on. I was 19 when I did the internship, so I was there for like a month. When I got to 20, that's when I started to learn how to video, and then that was a whole different ball game. Once I learned how to self-shoot when I was 20, everything kind of changed, and I kind of not fell out of love with photography, but I put photography on the back burner for a bit. But I still love photography up to this day. Sometimes I just do the odd bit here and there, and I do really want to pursue doing more photography in the future. I really love a little natural lighting, you know, out and about, natural shoots. I love that. And I used to do a lot of wedding photography as well, which I loved. I love moments. That's why I called it moment photography. It was like you just capture things when they happen. But yeah, once I got into film, I kind of just stopped with photography. But that's another story, and we'll hold on to that for another day. If you have any questions that you would like to ask or any advice along your journey into photography, feel free to give me a shout. I hope that this video is helpful. One thing I will definitely express to people is that it is not easy. It is not easy following whatever it is that you love, but I promise you, if you stick at it and you put in those years of hard graft, it will pay off. But it still takes time. Just be willing to sacrifice and really own it, what you want to do. Like, own it, and it will all come to you eventually. I'm still on the grind, girl. Don't worry, I'm not there yet. Nearly there. Just be willing to sacrifice, and I promise you, everything will be worth it. Like, it's so worth it to be able to do what you love every single day. It is worth it, and all them hard times, they come and go, but the end result is always worth it. So yeah, I hope this helps. Stay tuned for more stories. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Until next time, take care.